Steven Stump for Frontstretch.com. Tyler, with 4 playoff spots left on points, only 5 races left in the regular season, and being the highest in points, do you feel like you're safe to make it, or is it just never a guarantee until you have officially clinched that spot?
Honestly, for us, it's, making the playoffs isn't really, I guess it's the minimum requirement, I guess, was what I'm trying to say. This team, how the kind of performance we bring to the racetrack, whether it's our pit crew, whether it's our cars, or, how we strategize and race. Like, for us, yeah, it's crazy to even think we're worried about just making the playoffs, considering what a kind of team I think we are. So, it's to be in the playoffs, you have to make it. I get that, but for us, it's more so about, okay, we're in it, great, but we need playoff points. We need to do all these things, and it just hasn't necessarily worked out to where we have them, like the cars that we're around in points. So ultimately, that means that when it does get started, we're just going to have to work really hard or we're going to have to run 20 or 30 spots better than some of the guys that were around each round. So I think we're capable of that, but now we're kind of asking for some help along the way too. Some of the strong teams making mistakes, and I don't love the spot that we're in for those reasons. Yeah, I feel good about making the playoffs, but for me and this team, it's not about, a goal isn't making the playoffs, it's going far in the playoffs. It's making it to the championship 4 and competing for championships. That's what it's about for us. Making the playoffs isn't something that we have as a goal. It's almost a requirement.
Kelly Crandall, Racer.com. Tyler, going back to what you were talking about with your approach to the playoffs and the expectations there, the fact that how we look at 23XI as one of the top organizations in the Cup Series at this point, to not have a car that's won a race this year, is that unacceptable, or what is the internal conversations on kind of how this season has played out with not having that success?
Yeah, unfortunately, when those opportunities have been there, we just we haven't, executed. We've made a mistake. We've done something along the way that either makes that much more difficult to win or completely takes us out of it. So that's just kind of the name of the game. You can go and look through these races, and the teams that don't make the major mistakes win. I mean, even this past weekend at Dover, the 9 was extremely strong. They made a couple mistakes along the way. He doesn't win the race. So that's just kind of how it goes, with how close the cars are, how close the competition is. I seem to remember, I feel like it was Darlington years ago where Denny missed pit road, and because his team and his car were so good, they were able to come back from that and still win the race. In this day and age of stock car racing, because of how close everything is, those mistakes hurt you so much more. So it's just extremely important to, go out there, do your job, execute. I know it's a hard thing, right? If you tell yourself not to make mistakes, you're going to be thinking about mistakes, but that's what you got to do. You got to be able to lock in and in those critical moments perform.